Welcome back to the Communicative English session. In this particular discussion, we will be dealing with Unit 4, that is Build Your Portfolio in English. And this is the last session in this particular course. We will be dealing with two subunits, that is 4.3, How to Write an Effective Summary about Yourself and Your Work, and 4.4, How to Apply Appropriate Vocabulary to Write Your Education and Professional Experience for Your Resume. I'm sure that this session will be very helpful when you are applying to any of the posts. This will definitely help you how to write your resume. Four point three, How to write an effective summary about yourself and your work, including a concise summary of qualifications at the top of your resume, can help employers quickly identify whether you are a possible fit for a position. The selection allows you to highlight your most notable work experience, achievements, and skills. If you want to create a strong resume, writing a thoughtful qualification summary is often a good option. In this particular session, we will discuss the best ways to write a summary of qualifications with format standards and strategies for selecting the right information to include. What is a summary of qualifications on a resume? A summary of qualifications is a selection on a resume that highlights important work achievements, skills, and experience. This summary acts as an introduction and directs attention to your top qualifications for the job. It is usually listed directly below your name and contact information, which should be placed at the very top of your resume. As opposed to contact information and other required sections of a resume, a summary of qualifications is optional. However, adding this section can be a great way to quickly emphasize details that are important to your manager. Reasons for adding a summary of qualifications. Employers often need to make quick decisions about candidates. Placing a summary of qualifications at the top of the resume makes it easier for a recruiter or hiring manager to determine whether your resume meets first round requirements. For example, employers might look for certifications, educational level, history of work experience, and specific skills to move candidates forward in the hiring process. A qualification summary allows you the opportunity to give the details a prominent position on your resume. How to format a summary of qualifications. The standard format for a summary of qualifications is a bullet point list. This format actually makes it easy for a hiring manager to scan. Including 3 to 6 bullet points with each limited to 2 lines would be helpful. This section of a resume is the most effective when it is direct, relevant, and brief. The qualifications do not need to be full sentences. Now let us discuss how to write a resume qualification statement. There are several strategies you might consider when you write your summary of qualifications. First, let me discuss a few tips to draft your bullet points for this section of your resume. First and foremost is to use quantifiable data. Include numerical data to measure your impact at previous jobs when you can, such as the number of years in a position, amount of revenue you saved or earned, the size of the budget you worked with, or the number of people you supervised. Using specific data to demonstrate your influence in a role can help communicate your value to a potential employer. Point number two, always write in active voice. Use active voice to describe your work, experience, and achievements whenever possible. Active voice is direct and allows you more clearly to express your accomplishment. For example, compare the two statements. I'll just give a set of examples. In passive voice, it is a 15% decrease in operational costs was created over 2 years. But when it is in active voice, it can be reduced operational costs by 15% over 2 years. So while both the statements communicate the same information, the second example expresses the importance of achievement more clearly. Point number three, start with action verbs. Try to avoid using first person wording like I, my in your qualification statements. Instead, focus on explaining your most important qualifications for the job and without pronouns. One way to accomplish this is to start your bullet points with an action verb. Compare the two statements that I'm going to discuss with you. First one is I was promoted to manager after 8 months, and the second one promoted to manager after 8 months. So the second sentence that I just said now eliminates unnecessary words and starts with a powerful action verb. And there are several other examples of action verbs for resumes grouped by skill. When it comes to management and leadership skills, administered, executed, supervised, planned, oversaw, coordinated, designed, drafted, trained, all these are powerful action verbs. Now, let us discuss a few research skills with you. The words that can be used when you are emphasizing on your research skills. They could be analyzed, identified, measured, studied, examined, conducted, surveyed, tested, investigated. And when it comes to organizational skills, it could be filed, standardized, maintained, prepared, arranged, catalogued, updated, scheduled, recorded, etc. When we are discussing communication skills, some of the action verbs that could be included can be articulated, persuaded, discussed, drafted, edited, presented, translated, clarified, authored, collaborated, composed, facilitated. These are a few of the action verbs that I discussed with you. There are a lot many of them. Moving on to data and financial skills, the words that could be used: appraised, managed, forecasted, allocated, adjusted, balanced, developed, reconciled, adjusted, analyzed. When technical skills are being discussed, we can use calculated, programmed, assembled, upgraded, repaired, installed, maintained, operated, engineered, designed, etc. Creative skills. In the use of creative skills, we can use conceptualized, designed, performed, customized, photographed, originated, illustrated, fashioned, modeled, shaped, etc. When we are discussing assistant skills, collaborated, coached, supported, aided, contributed, counseled, educated. All these could be the powerful words. Now, let me discuss how to include keywords. While recruiters and hiring managers might review resumes manually in later stages, organizations often use computer systems to review resumes initially. Companies that receive hundreds or thousands of applicants for job postings often use keyword searches or applicant tracking system software to identify qualified candidates. Including keywords in your qualification summary allows you to increase the concentration of keywords in your resume so that it may pass through these initial checks. Tailor your resume to each job posting by including important keywords in your summary of qualifications. If you're not sure which keywords to use, we will discuss a few of them in the following slide. When it comes to job description, carefully review the job posting and look for specific words related to the position, such as necessary skills, experience, or education. Industry terms that could be used are very powerful. For example, use keywords that apply to your industry on the specific job you are applying for. And employment website. Some companies include a keyword search option on their employment website you can use. Moving on to the next slide. While keywords are helpful, adding too many isn't always a good thing. If you overuse keywords, the ATS software may flag your resume and prevent it from reaching the employer. Make sure the keywords you use are thoughtful, honest, and aligned with your experience and abilities. If you don't have a specific skill that matches up with a keyword, there may be a way to still include it on your resume. For example, let us say that a listing for a warehouse supervisor job identifies the followed desired. I'll discuss a few of the following desired skills and experiences. Like management, customer service, inventory control, safety and compliance, certified forklift operator. So, if you have the first four skills that I mentioned just now, you have not yet gained certification as a forklift operator. You might include a few bullet points in your summary qualifications, like 7 years of experience in warehouse management supervising a team of 25 employees, or it could be resolved 100% of customer service issues within 48 hours, or it could be skilled at managing inventory control and safety compliance, progressing towards forklift operator certification. So, all these are added phrases that could be added to your resume. Next important point is personalize. Write your qualification statements in a way that addresses your unique skills and experience. Let me give you an example that can tailor a qualification statement so that it is a specific one to your abilities. First type of writing is efficient nurse manager that helped cut department costs by 14%. Instead of that, why can't we use 3 years of experience leading a team of 25 nurses during which the overtime cost reduced by 50%? So, the second statement that I just mentioned now addresses the candidate's specific accomplishments with the resulting impact, increasing the credibility and value. Take time to personalize your summary of job qualifications with information that is required for your career enhancement, and it will highlight your career experience. Now let's move on to 4.4, that is how to apply appropriate vocabulary to write your education and professional experience for your resume. This is subunit 4.4. A well written work experience section is a crucial element on your resume because it shows that you have the necessary qualifications to be an asset to your potential employer. It also provides substantial information in a limited space. In this particular following slides, we will show you how to list work experience on a resume to make a strong impression on your prospective employer. So first let us discuss what is a resume work experience section. The work experience section of your resume should contain information about your professional history, including previous titles, employers, dates of tenure, responsibilities, skills learned, and accomplishments. Depending on your background, you can include full time positions, part time jobs, temporary roles, internships, and even volunteer work if you do not have extensive paid work experiences. So let us discuss why is work experience on a resume very important. Many employers regard the description of work experience as the most important part of a resume. To get a quick idea of your employment history, your experience that you show to your prospective employer is quite important. As such, this section could be the key in moving you forward in the hiring process. The work experience section in your resume shows the hiring manager whether you have the necessary experience and skills to succeed in the role you're applying for. And here this particular section in your resume should include information about your achievements, which you can distinguish from other applicants and make you a more likely hand at the interview. So let me quickly discuss with you how to write work experience in a resume. First and foremost, include detailed and relevant information. The work experience section of your resume should contain specific information about your employment history that can include the companies that you worked for. Provide the full official name of the companies for which you have worked, starting with your most recent, followed by the next most recent, and so on. To keep the section relevant, include employment experiences older than 10 years. In general, you should at least include your last three employers. That's very important. Do include the amount of work experience required in the last job posting if applicable. Location of the companies. Include down the cities and states where your previous employees are located. It is not necessary to provide their full physical address. Employment dates are important. Use the standard month year format, that is January 2020, November that is January 2020 to November 2021, to list when you started and stopped working for each company. If you have short gaps in your work history, you may want to list only the years of employment. Or if you have long gaps, you may decide to provide a brief explanation as to why that break is seen in the resume. When it comes to job titles, you should be specific about your job titles in the companies you worked for. For example, stating that you were a social marketing manager is preferable to just write marketing manager. And another thing is avoid acronyms. Next is responsibilities and impact. Concisely describe your main responsibilities and the skills you demonstrated in your previous jobs, such as project management, strategic planning, or team building. Pair your responsibility with a key impact using numbers to measure your success. For example, instead of writing responsible for taking inventory and ordering of office supplies, you can write developed new inventory process, reducing quarterly supply cost by 15%. So, listing any promotions you may have earned in previous positions will show your potential employer that you performed well in your past jobs, which could make you a more appealing candidate. Awards and recognitions. You can include your awards and recognitions in the job experience section, or you can have a separate section for them. These accomplishments show that you can excel in your field of work. If you do not have extensive professional experience, you can include other experience that shows your skills and commitment to completing tasks professionally. This can include paid jobs that might not seem directly relevant, such as retail or food industry jobs you held in high school or college, internships, or even volunteer work. So, always prioritize experiences that are relevant to the job for which you're applying. If you have at least 2 years of professional experience, you should remove less relevant jobs. Format the resume work experience section. Let me discuss a few of them. First one is chronological format. In a chronological resume, you need to list your work history with your most recent job at the top. This is the most widely used format because it shows clearly how you progressed through your career. This method works best if you have at least a few years of consistent employment experience. Next is functional format. With the functional resume format, you need to categorize your achievements and skills according to the requirements of your desired job. So you need to mention the names of your previous employers and durations of employment under your work history. Since this format focuses on your achievements and skills instead of the job positions you held, it is a suitable option if you are a recent graduate or you have significant gaps in your employment history. When it comes to combination format, you need to offer more flexibility, allowing you to present your work history in a way that emphasizes your strength. So, with this option, you will provide a summary of professional experience first, followed by a list of your achievements and skills. Consider using the hybrid format when you are applying for a management or executive level job. So, with this, we have come to an end of the session. We'll be sharing the spellings with you soon. So, in this particular session, we have discussed how to write professional emails in English, how to speak English professionally, how to have effective interview techniques, and how to build your portfolio in English. So let me just inform you that these are the slides that could be quite useful when you apply for a job. So these are the tips how to write your resume. So with this, we have come to an end of the communicative session. We had quite a few sessions, and now we'll be sharing the swellings, quizzes, and every related stuff with this. Happy learning. Have a great day and stay safe. Thank you.